I love it. First plastic of the year going down. AV line set, getting everything figured out. That first pass we made about 10 adjustments on the layer. Got it laying real good. So one thing we gotta look for when we're out laying plastic is how deep we're working the dirt. We gotta pull a lot of dirt up to make that bed. So I gotta dig down, and right there we're going about 8 inches deep probably. So I gotta make sure that we're going deep enough that we're gonna have enough stuff to make the bed, be able to pull up enough dirt to make the bed, cover the edges, all that. And at the same time, that whenever I drive my truck across it, that one there is not as deep. That's still deep enough though. When I drive my truck across it, I don't get hung up, just sinking down. But you can see they're over there laying plastic, disking right in front of it. Fertilizer spreader's right over here somewhere. Going pretty good. For day number 2 is a rough start. So I didn't show it out in the field because I was too upset, but we hit a big rock with the plastic layer, broke all this fiberglass loose, and it bent this up. Been trying to get it bent back down. It bent it up, and when the roller was going around, it was causing it to cut the plastic right there. So sticking the bottle jack in there, trying to get that bent back down. Hopefully this works out good. Just rained about 3/4 inch. First time it's rained I don't know how long. We're actually in a pretty excessive drought right now, especially for April. But thankful for the little bit of moisture we got. It's about all gone. Probably take the day off tomorrow and start the day after that.
Good morning, everybody. We got some pallets laid out here for the plants. Plants have arrived. They're in a semi this year. We got them on racks, so we gotta take the racks out and load them on our buses. We only got 4 buses here today, but the rest of it will get laid on to our pallets here. Try to shoot a video of them unloading them and show you. We got some females and we got males. Try to do 2 buses of males and 3 buses of females. We got about 80 acres worth of plants on there. About 1,600 trays. Getting the ramp out so we can roll these carts off the semi, and we'll get rolling here. Welcome 2026 melon season. First plants are going on the bus. We'll lay them on the ground. Got about 120 trays per bus. Get them unloaded with these carts. What doesn't fit on the buses, we'll put it out here on the ground. Here's the carts I mentioned. All these are female plants, all the producers of the seedless. And we're starting to get out the male plants. They're called machos. Get them separated on our buses. Starting to get some buses loaded. This is what they look like, nice and pretty and green. We've got 3 buses here that are fully loaded with plants, and they're over there working on another one. Look at all them beautiful plants. Ready to get them in the ground and get them to grow for you guys. Buses are filled. In the building they go. Getting them all unloaded onto the pallets here. Making us a nice grass looking ground. Stacking them on pallets because if You lay them straight onto the concrete, it kills them. Not speaking from experience or anything, but this is what we're doing this year. Just for the simple fact that we didn't get enough buses running to put them all on. But as we empty the buses into the fields, since they're fairly close, we can just run back over here, fill the bus back up with what's here on the ground, and take them as we need them. Those on there waiting their turn to come in. I think it's going pretty smooth. We'll put both of these rows here in the female plants, or embra, and starting from about right there over this way, we'll put the male plants down. Not as many of them because there's only one of them plants for every several female plants, so don't need as many of the male ones. Stay tuned. And just like that, all the plants are unloaded. We have this whole row is female. All these are all female. And those over there are machos, the males. Not as many of those, like I said. There's only so many of those for more of these. So we need more females than males. So I just got done mixing the setter water. That's gonna go into the setter when we plant these here in a hot minute. And we'll maybe take a short break and we'll get rolling. More to come. Sorry for the wind. So we got our convoy. There's our water bus headed to the field to get started. Got about a quarter-mile drive, not too far. Planting for 2025 underway. Getting everything tested out, making sure there's enough water coming out of there. It's a little bit on the wet side, but drying up the plant. Got female plants on the right side of as you're watching, and male is on the left side. It puts a little bit of water in the hole as it pokes a hole with that roller. Little holes where the plants go. They put a plant in. Getting it figured out. They're sitting back here on this seat. Males and females going in the ground. The guy in the back's making sure they get it figured out. Once he gets that figured out, he shouldn't have to walk back there. We're going at a slow 1 mile an hour. It's about. Sometimes they can go a little bit quicker depending on how easy to get the hang of it. Might go a little bit faster, but 1 mile an hour at the moment. It seems slow when you're driving, but when you're sitting down there in the seats, it's a whole lot faster. I had a feeling we were going to run into some of this. So, this is one of the spots where the rainwater kind of comes down. It's a little bit squishy in this spot here yet. Skip that row there because it's just too bad. I'm able to keep it in the center. Tractor's squishing around too much. Quite the rut there. Hopefully they're not all going to be like that up through there, but it's still a little bit wet. Wish it was drier. But once we get through these little wet spots that are right here, going up through there, it's dry again, and then we're fine. But we'll take a little time to get used to it. We were setting plants over there. It was starting to get a little bit too mushy for us, and we were tearing up some plastic with the seats, so we decided to move over to the other side. I think it's a little bit dry over here. There's a couple of wet spots right there that we had to get through, but once we're past that little wet spot, then most all of this is pretty dry. Staying around the middle of the row. There we are. The sun is starting to set some. Kind of a cool looking picture there. Sun shining on all the plastic. You can tell no plastic is blowing. Can you believe that? Moving right along, almost have that bus totally empty. Hoping to go for about half an hour or so yet and take that bus back and fill it back up, and we'll call it a day.